Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about um Miss Marvel, but we're going to be talking about the actress Imani Vellina. I hope I said her name right. I'm not trying to mispronounce her name, but she's the actress who is playing Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, in the Disney Plus show Miss Marvel. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because this proves how enough is enough with adaptations and adapting them incorrectly. Because Amina, who a lot of people found out is an actual fan of Marvel Comics and is an actual fan of Marvel, has a lot of hot takes about some of the decisions that's been happening in the Marvel universe and hot takes from Kevin Feige. And it's just like, well, if you guys didn't, because some people want to try to say, it's another universe or whatever. Okay, cool. If it's another universe, then guess what? The MCU designated number is Earth 199999, not Earth 616. 616 is the original Marvel Universe. 1610 is what the MCU is based off of. Now, a lot of y'all like to say it's a different universe. So since it's a different universe, then we need to keep it as a different universe, because y'all love to use that when people correct y'all about things that happen in the comic books that should have stayed in the comic books, just like how Kamala Khan should be an Inhuman and her powers should be basically the Stretchy McGee powers. And like I said, I feel like it does a disservice when you change canon for these characters just to try to appeal or try to make it easier for you, or try to do it for a mainstream audience. Because another thing that people, because that's an excuse I always hear too, is the reason why they make these changes is for a mainstream audience. But it's the fact of the matter is, a lot of your mainstream audience would have went to the damn movie or watched the show anyway. So why can't you stay faithful and true to the actual fans who actually read the comic books? It just makes no logical sense. Clearly, Imana, actually, she loves the characters. Clearly, from her interactions talking about the characters, she know more than the actors that are portraying the characters, and even more than the president of Marvel. Like, that's crazy that you don't know about your own universe, and then you let stuff like that, like you have this Earth 616 thing, the nonsense that didn't make any sense in the Spider-Man Far From Home about the multiverse stuff didn't make any logical sense. It was just so it's getting to the point where you're messing up your own canon. There are plot holes in there. People are calling you out, and yet y'all don't want to hear it. But then you have an actress who's actually a fan of Marvel, who actually read this stuff, who actually knows her information about these characters, calling y'all out on this stuff. That is kind of mind-boggling crazy. So they talked more about her, and and Imani, she talks about the whole multiverse thing, and the undertaking of being Miss Marvel, and basically oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. um Basically, she says that she wants to she's excited about doing this role. This is very cool. She definitely is a fan. She even criticized Captain Marvel. She didn't think the movie was all that great, so that's really kind of cool too. So hey, I think it's really cool. And they people asked her about her views on the MCU and how she's stoked or whatever, because she's also supposed to be in the upcoming Captain Marvel movie, The Marvels, right? And and Amani, says that she argues with Kevin Feige about a lot of things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It doesn't make any sense, that goes against it. And the one thing she talked to him, she's like she has this conversation with Kevin all the time, is that every time she meets him in person, she said it's not Earth 616. The MCU is definitely Earth 1999999, which that is the designated Earth. That is where Agents of Shield. That is where all of the Netflix shows take place. That is where the Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, anything that is live action with Marvel characters takes place in Earth 19999. That is your stuff. And we're talking about anything before the MCU doesn't take place, but everything after the MCU besides the X-Men stuff, of course, and the Fantastic Four movie. So anything that Fox did during that time or Sony did doesn't take place. You know what I'm saying? But anything that ABC or Disney produced with another network or whatever, whether it be Freeform, ABC, Hulu, all of that stuff takes place in Earth 19999, and that's something that Kevin should have known. Like you're the boss of the MCU, and you don't even know that, you know. And she also continues that you can't take it from Marvel Comics canon. That's where the main comic canon and where all the main events took place. In that canon, Kamala is an Inhuman. There's Lockjaw. House of M took place with the X-Men, where all of that in the MCU, if it's 616, no, okay, I rest my case. Why was Mysterio in the MCU right about 616 mentioned? Why would he know anything? He's an actor. Exactly. She knows that it doesn't make any sense, just like a lot of us calls it out all the time, you know. And then she even talks about she also confirms, hold on, let me see, she also confirms about, you know, the Doctor Strange things where the whole Black Bolt thing took place as well. How she said she doesn't appreciate that. And she said she also states that she also texts Kevin Feige and tells him he's wrong, which he replies with a sad emoji face. And she said she also said she didn't appreciate Black Bolt killed moments after his appearance. I don't care what anyone says, he's my guy, and I think they did him dirty, and I did not appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of us didn't appreciate that, because it's just like you made Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic, two of the smartest people in on, you know, the planet Earth, die that quick, when we've seen them capacitate people that are more powerful than than Scarlet Witch on a daily basis. Like, get out of here with that. And she also talks about how she was begging for Lockjaw and maybe bringing in some Inhumans and tying her origins to the Inhumans. Instead of her having these cosmic bracelets, she should have been having a stretchy thing. So this girl knows her stuff, and that's good. We need somebody who actually knows this stuff, besides people who really don't know this stuff. They don't really care about this stuff, but yet they want to try to talk about it as if they know best. Just like it's the same thing when you talk to MCU fans. They swear they know the best. No, you don't know the best, because you didn't read the comic books, and a lot of people refuse to read the damn comic books, you know. If you're not going to read the comic books, then you don't have the right to tell somebody who read the comic books how they should feel about the characters, and what they shouldn't have added into the thing. Because, you know, another thing too, a lot of people was trying to speculate the reason why Kevin Feige changed the powers for Kamala Khan is because they don't want her to get confused with Mr. Fantastic. No, how many characters we have that can fly, have super strength in the MCU? How many people have we seen that are super soldiers? Plenty of them. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. You know what I mean? We have people have technology. We have War Machine, Iron Man. People know the difference. People know the difference between you know, Black Panther and Killmonger. Everybody knows the difference between Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these characters are in the same frame of power sets. So don't give me that nonsense. And on top of that, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness still came out before Miss Marvel. So you could have easily have still did Mr. Fantastic, which you already did, and you screwed that up, and then bam, you could have did Kamala Khan's stretchy powers. Because that's her powers, her embiggening powers. That is her inhuman power. Not the cosmic bangles that she puts on, which is really a tease to Quasar instead. So she's not even Miss Marvel, she's really Quasar, and that's the problem. At least if you're gonna do it correctly, or don't do it at all. But it just shows how much you talk a big game about this character, how important she is as a character, and yet you're too embarrassed to do her powers like she's supposed to. Y'all gave it to her. A lot of people have said maybe Marvel shouldn't have gave her the stretchy powers, but y'all doubled down on those abilities. Those are the powers that you picked for her. So you need to live with those. She can shapeshift. She can grow her arms and legs. I'm sorry. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That's the powers that you picked for the character. So use those powers. Hell, you even had a damn video game that highlighted her. You had a video game that highlighted her. And you didn't do anything with, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were going to do something, you could have easily, when the Marvel Avengers came out, you could have easily changed her powers to whatever you were doing then. Then it would have made more sense. But right now, it doesn't make any sense. It's just an excuse because you didn't want to do it. But this is the character that you claim is a fan favorite for everyone. That everyone loves this character. And, the actress is charming. But that doesn't take away the fact that Kamala Khan herself is not a good fucking character. Yeah, she had one volume. She had one volume when she first started that was excellent. And then after that, the sales declined on her. And it's been constantly rebooted and canceled so many times. And you're trying to make it work. The character does not work because you lost the specialty of the character. You tried to do too much with that character. And now you have her live action appearance. And you change her power to some knockoff Green Lantern crystal cosmic nonsense. Which is a combination of Green Lantern and Quasar. You're not even trying anymore at this point. So again, what's the point? Why do something like this? Why couldn't you just actually keep the character how she was supposed to be and call it a day? That's all you had to do. But you didn't. Because you were ashamed of the character. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And then it's kind of weird that as a people that want to try to defend, her power changes, it's better this way or whatever. Would you change Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman's powers? You get what I'm saying? It's always funny when it comes to characters of color. When they have superpowers, they always want to try to change their characters, their powers up, just to try to justify some nonsense. I'm just being honest. If the character is a character of color, their powers are either diminished or they're changed to something completely not their own powers, and then people call it out, and then people want to try to defend it. It's so weird. I never quite understood that. But you can make sure you can keep the popular characters, their power sets. But when it comes to brand new characters or lesser known characters, you have to change everything about them. That is the most weirdest thing I've ever seen. Or when a character is originally white and the character is now a character of color, then you still change things about it. Not only is the character another damn race, but now their power sets is different. That is so damn weird. You could have easily did embiggen stuff with that. All you had to do was just put her in green screen when you needed to do certain things, and make sure, make sure you put green technology on the actress's, arms and feet or whatever you need her to do, and then just digitally add that stuff in. That's all you had to do. It wouldn't have been no kind of hard at all. Because you missed the point of her shape-shifting to Miss Marvel to feel comfortable, and I mean Carol Danvers, because Carol was Miss Marvel at the time. She used that as her way to hide herself from being a superhero until she found the confidence in herself to become Miss Marvel of her own volition. But you took that away because you wanted to do some Chris Lee cosmic nonsense. And again, I'm not even a big fan of Kamala Khan, but at least if you're gonna do a coming of age story and her trying to learn about powers, why you couldn't keep the core aspect of what her powers is and why she did what she did. You know, she's an Inhuman. Okay, cool, whatever. Keep her as an Inhuman. Keep her as the biggest fan of Miss Marvel, but keep her power set how it's supposed to be. There are restrictions and rules and regulations on her powers. And now that you strap her with a Brangle band that gives her powers, it just doesn't look good. Unless in the Marvels you finally give her her Inhuman powers, then sure. But if you're not even going to do that, then what's the point? It's so weird and it's so unnecessary. But again, you know, when you got an actress that knows more about the canon of the characters and the history and origins, you know, it's kind of messed up. But this is what happens when you literally have people who work for the company and don't give a damn about the characters. When you have the actress have to say something, you know you messed up. But it is what it is. You know, you know, people are still gonna watch it. You know, like I said, maybe Captain Marvel. I mean, maybe the Marvels will be changed. Who knows? We'll see, right? We'll see, right? You know, but it is what it is. I just had to kind of talk about it because I have to, congratulate Imani Vellani for standing up and like defending the comic book universe that Kevin and them use the ideas, but then don't never want to adapt them correctly. You know, but it is. But those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.